Hello, math friends. It is time to do lesson 3 today. Now, before we get started, in your Google Classroom, you have a little template that's attached to your work today. You can either pull that up and look at it, or you can just follow along with what I do and Miss Caitlyn does, okay? Because we'll have the template also. So again, if you have access to a printer or something, you can print it out and use it that way. Or if you just want to pull it up on your screen, you can do that also. But right now, you don't need to do that. We are going to warm up our brains, and then we are going to do our application problem, and then we'll get started with our lesson, okay? So I'm going to pause just for a second. Okay, we are in lesson 3, like I said. Today we're going to say I can compare and order 3 lengths. So we're going to measure 3 different things, and we're going to compare them, which one's longer, which one's shorter, and we're going to put them in order. Okay, so let's get our brain going. We're not going to do this part. You are going to do, if I can get there. There it is. You're going to do your sprint. Okay, you're either going to get A or B. I don't know which one I put in there. It's one of the two. You're going to set your timer for 2 minutes. We are going to work hard for those 2 minutes and get as many as you can done correctly. Okay, I want to see improvement. So if you get 3 done today, the next time I want to see if you can get 4 done. Okay. Now look carefully because your signs change. You have addition and then bam, subtraction. So be very, very careful. Okay. So pause your video here, set your timer for 2 minutes, go work on your fluency, and then come back to me and we'll do your application problem. All right, guys, you should be back with me. I'm ready to work with you on your application problem. We are number detectives again. Remember, a good number detective will read through the entire problem so we know what we have to do to solve. So our application problems have been changing a little bit because now we're working on measuring things. So let's look and read through and see what we have to do today, okay? Draw one picture to match both of these sentences. The book is longer than the index card. The book is shorter than the folder. Which is longer, the index card or the folder? Write a statement comparing the 2 objects. Use your drawings to help answer the question. Okay, so let's go back and look. What does it want us to do? It says draw one picture to match both of these sentences. But let's look at the question it's asking us, okay? Which is longer, the index card or the folder? Now, I'm going to highlight that. Which is longer, the index card or the folder? Because that's what we have to figure out, okay? Now, let's go back here and look for clues. And I'm going to change my clues here. It says the book is longer than the index card. All right, so I'm going to make some boxes here. Let's make a box. The book is longer than the index card. So here, let's put the book in the middle. And the book is longer than the index card. So let's make the index card. All right, so you can see that this index card is not quite as long as the book. Then it says the book is shorter than the folder. Okay, so if this is the book and it's shorter than the folder, then our folder needs to be bigger than the book. So let's make the folder bigger. Okay, now I'm going to label this just so you can see. This is my index card. I'm going to put an I for index card. This is my book. Oops. And this is the folder. All right, so let's go back. It says write a statement comparing the 2 objects. Use your drawings to help answer the question. So which one is longer, the index card or the folder? Well, you can see the index card is the shortest one and the folder is the longest one. So we can write a statement that says the folder is longer than the index card. Okay, so let's see, did we answer our question? Which is longer, the index card or the folder? Yes, we did. Did we draw a picture to match both of the sentences? Yes, because here I drew a picture that says the book is longer than the index card and the book is shorter than the folder. And then we answered our question. So friends, we can close this case and say mystery is solved. So you can erase your whiteboard and we can be ready to start our lesson. So I'm going to pause for a second to get us ready and then we'll start. Okay, friends, now on my screen is the template that you will see in our video. You should have a copy of this template in your Google Classroom assignments with the problem set and the exit ticket. Okay, now like I said, you can print it off if you want to use it, or if you want to just pull it up on your screen and use it that way, that's fine too. If not, you can watch the video and see what we do with ours, okay? So either way is fine. I just want to give you option that you can use it if you need to. All right, so let's get started. Oh, I forgot to rewind my video. Boop. All right, there we go. And you know what? So I didn't turn up my volume. Slacking today, guys.
Welcome to class, my marvelous mathematician. It's Miss Caitlyn here, ready to guide you through another lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to order 3 lengths. For today's lesson, all you will need is your city block grid template. Looks just like this. You're going to slide it into your whiteboard.
Now, what she means by that is if you have a page protector, you can slide it into the page protector so you can write on it, okay?
So slide it into your whiteboard and come back when you're ready. Welcome back. Let's get started. This is Mary and this is Anne.
Hi, Mary.
They're trying to figure out whose path is longer from their house to the park. This map is showing Mary's path to the park and Anne's path to the park. Which do you think is longer?
They kind of look the same, don't they?
And do you think we could count the lines to figure out whose path is longer to the park? Take a moment to think.
I think we could.
Could we count the lines to figure out whose path is longer?
I think we could totally count the lines.
Yes, I agree. I think we could. These lines are like city blocks. When you trace one line to the next, that's a city block. So we can count each line to figure out how long the path is from the house to the park. Remember, we don't want to count the squares because we want to make sure we count each and every block. I'm going to trace Mary's path with my marker so I don't lose track. I want you to do this with me. Pick up your marker and put it at the beginning of Mary's path, just like I did.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to shrink us down because I'm going to pull up mine, okay? And I'm going to trace mine on Cami so you can see how to do it on yours too, okay? So I'm actually going to take my drawing and I'm going to change it to yellow so you can still see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it and I'm going to count each time, okay? Bless you.
Excuse me.
So here we go. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now you'll notice I stopped and counted after each and every single line. So when it's connected by 2 lines, I stopped and counted that one. So Mary's house took 11 blocks. Okay, so now let's do Anne's house. Ready? Oh, we want to draw that one. All right, here we go. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So for Anne's house, it took 9 blocks. Okay, so which one did we have, or which one took longer to get to the park? Mary's house or Anne's house? Mary's house, because it took us 11 blocks to get there. Anne's house, it was shorter because it took 9. Okay, so let's go back to our video. And I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit, so since we've already counted. Okay, so let's see what we got.
Oh, welcome back, mathematician. Did you trace Anne's path?
We did.
That's so awesome. How many city blocks long did you find Anne's path was?
We found that it was 9 city blocks.
That's right. It's 9 city blocks long. Count with me as I check. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. We were right. Anne's path is 9 city blocks long. So mathematicians, whose path to the park is longer? Mary or Anne?
We decided that it was Mary, didn't we?
I think is correct.
Because Mary
Who
had,
has the longer path to the park? Mary or Anne?
Mary had 11 city blocks and Anne only had 9.
You were right. Mary has the longer path to the park because she has more city blocks to walk from her house to the park. Great job, mathematician. Now, something awesome happened. A new kid moved into the neighborhood. I love when that happens. His name is Rob. Rob has a longer walk to the park than Mary. I want you to think. If Rob has a longer walk to the park than Mary, then whose path is longer? Rob or Anne? Let me say that again. If Rob has a longer walk to the park than Mary, then who has the longer walk? Rob or Anne? Choose the button below that you think is correct. Whose path to the park is longer?
Who do you
Rob
think?
or Anne?
Do you think it was Rob or do you think it was Anne?
Did you click Rob? I agree. We know Rob's path to the park was longer than Mary's, and Anne's is shorter than Mary's. So if we compare them both to Mary, we know Rob's will be longer than Anne's. Great job. Now, mathematicians, we have 3 paths to compare. On the other side of your whiteboard, I want you to draw 3 lines just like this.
Okay, now again, she's doing the other side of her whiteboard because she's using a sheet protector. You can just use your whiteboard.
I want you to put the paths in order from longest to shortest. The longest path should be written first, and the shortest path is written last. You can write each student's name to represent their path. Pause the video now to draw 3 lines on your whiteboard and order the paths from longest to shortest.
Okay, we're gonna pause and let's talk about that, okay? So on your whiteboard, and you don't have to write out the words longest, you could put an L and an S under each one. So let's look at what we have. We have longest to shortest. Now, we measured Mary and Anne's paths. Mary had 11, Anne had 9. Then Rob came along and we knew that Rob, his path was longer than Mary's. So did Rob or Mary have a longer path? Rob. So he's going to be the longest. So we're going to say Rob on our first line had the longest path. So that means that Mary was in the middle and Anne had the shortest. Okay? Because Anne's path was shorter than Mary's and Rob was longer than Mary.
We here ready for you when you get back.
We're ready.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Did you order the paths like this? Rob is the longest, then Mary, and Anne had the shortest path. Check your work now. If you need to correct it, go ahead and do that. Mistakes are our best friend. Great job comparing the different lengths of the path on the map. Now, let's do that same thing in our virtual classroom. Do you remember Mr. Monroe?
We
Hi,
do.
Mr. Monroe.
Hi, Mr. Monroe.
He's trying to create the short path for his students to line up for recess. He has a few options laid out. Let's take a look at them. I see 2 paths so far. What do you notice about them?
They're kind of wiggly.
One is blue, one's red. And the blue one looks a little longer because it's taking up more space, it looks like. And the red one seems a bit shorter. Scott, do you think we could count just like we did the city blocks to figure out which is shorter?
We sure can.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's go ahead and do that now.
Ready?
Let's count the blue to see how long it is.
Here we go.
Count with me.
1,
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Wow.
That's a
So
lot.
the blue line is 15 tile lines long. That's a lot. Now, I want you to count the red lines all by yourself.
Okay, here we
Pause
go.
the video now and count the red line. And let me know when you're ready. I'll be here waiting.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Now here we go. Ready? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, hold on, I messed up. Let's try this again. Something popping up on my screen. Let's move it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Welcome back, my master counter. Did you count the red line to see how many tile lines long it would be?
We did. We got 12.
And what'd you get?
12 tiles.
I found out that the red line is 12 tile lines long too. So mathematicians, which is longer? The blue line or the red line?
The blue
Click
line
the button
is
on your
longer.
screen now that you think is true. Which is longer, the blue line or the red line?
I'm saying the blue line because it's 15 lines long, where the red line is only 12.
Yes, the blue line is longer. Mr. Monroe did one more line. He put a yellow line in. Try. We know that the yellow line is shorter than the red line. This sounds a lot like the problem with Rob we just did.
Mm-hmm.
If the yellow line is shorter than the red line, then which path is longer? The blue line or the yellow line? Let me ask one more time. If the yellow line is shorter than the red line, then which line is longer? The blue line or the yellow line? Pause the video now to think and decide. Point.
Okay, so let's look. They want to know, is the blue path longer or is the yellow path longer? Well, we know that the blue path is longer than the red path, but the yellow path is shorter than the red path. So would the yellow path be shorter or longer than the blue path? It's going to be shorter. And you know what? We can even double check and count. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is the yellow line shorter than the blue line? Yeah, so we can say that the blue
Point to the
is
button that you
longer.
think is true when you're ready. Mathematician, you've done it again. You've done some great thinking. Complex. the yellow line is shorter than the red line, and the blue line is longer than the red line, then we can use the red line to help compare the blue line and the yellow line. So which is longer, the blue line or the yellow line?
The blue line.
Yeah, I got that too. The blue line is longer, or we could say the yellow line is shorter. Oh, time just flies when you're having a good time. I can't believe our lesson's already over, and you did such a great job. Today, you learned how to compare 3 lengths. Kiss your brain and repeat after me.
Here we go.
My brain is great.
My brain is great.
My brain will grow.
My brain will grow.
The harder I work,
The harder I work,
the more I'll know.
the more I'll know.
And that's so true. Let's head to our problem set so you can practice today's learning. Your must-do problems today are 5 through 10. As always, you'll have 10 minutes to work.
All right, guys, let's go to our problem set. If I can get out of this, there we go. And bring up, oops, what are we doing here? There we go. All right, we're gonna do 5 through 10. But in order to answer 5 through 10, we have to look at this picture up here, okay? So let's take that, there we go. All right, so let's look. Did it give us instructions? Did not give us instructions. Okay, so let's look and see what it says. It says, use the picture to answer the questions about the student's path to school. We have Caitlyn's path, we have Toby's path, and then we have Joe's path, but there's nothing there for Joe, okay? So let's look at number 5. How long is Caitlyn's path to school? Blank blocks. Remember, you're going to count each line. So let's look at Caitlyn's path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So Caitlyn's path is 10 blocks. How long is Toby's path? You're going to count that. I'm not going to count that one for you. You're going to count that. Then on number 7, it says Joe's path is shorter than Caitlyn's. Draw Joe's path. So you are going to draw a path that's going to be shorter in blocks than Caitlyn's, okay? All right, now 8, 9, and 10. It says circle the correct word to make this statement true. Toby's path is longer or shorter than Joe's. You're going to have to figure that one out, okay? Who took the shortest path to school? Was it Joe, Toby, or Caitlyn? And then you're going to order the paths from the shortest to the longest. So let's go ahead and label this one shortest, so you know, and this one the longest. Okay, so remember, you're going to count up how many is in Toby's path, how many is in Caitlyn's path. You're going to draw Joe's path, which is shorter than Caitlyn's. Then you're going to answer these questions, okay? So make sure you do 5 through 10, and then do your exit ticket, and then turn it all into me. If you have any questions, please email me, make me a comment, do however you need to get in touch with me, okay? So if you guys have any questions, get in touch with me. You're doing 5 through 10 and all of your exit ticket. All right, guys? Okay, so I will see you all on our next lesson. Bye, friends.